From getting booed to get off the stage during a live Netflix event in front of thousands of people, to editing out the unhappy fans that were yelling at her, and having people hate her for wearing a corset so tight that she could barely breathe, it seems like the general public has finally decided to turn on Kim Kardashian. Now all aboard the Kim Kardashian hate train, because the year isn't even halfway over and there's a lot that needs to be covered. Now, as a Swiftie, I've been waiting for Kim Kardashian to get her karma, and it appears that she's been getting it in the last couple of weeks. Let's start by talking about her segment of Tom Brady's roast. The roast, which aired live on the streaming service Netflix on May 5th from the Kia Forum in Los Angeles, is now missing some notable footage from when Kim first took the spotlight. Live viewers couldn't miss the crowd's boos after host Kevin Hart introduced her, but the version currently available on Netflix, Kim is greeted exclusively by applause. For a very special toast, right, this toast has come from somebody worthy of a moment as such, a special friend and a special lady, Kim Kardashian, Kevin said. As Kim makes her way to the stage, the audience's only audible reaction is applause, as it was in the original broadcast. "Thank you so much, Kevin," she says in the edited version, as she then makes a joke about his height. But that's not what happened in real life. In the live broadcast, when Kim made an earlier attempt to deliver that first joke, it was interrupted by significant booing from the crowd following the initial applause. After saying, "I know a lot of people make fun of your height," she looked away from the teleprompter with irritation. All right," she said, as Kevin chimed in saying, "Whoa, whoa, 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 whoa." Now, on Netflix, the roast includes a message that says, "edited from a previous live stream," but why would they take out the booing though? People who saw the stream live knew what happened and were already talking about it online. It wasn't a secret. And them editing it actually just made it an even bigger deal. Also, why was Kim even invited to an event like that? Reps for Netflix and Kim did not immediately respond for comment, so we may never get the answer. Now, it seems like Kim likes editing out things that make her look bad though. Cough cough, the Taylor Swift and Kanye West phone call. But hey, that's none of my business. Then there was the controversy at the Met Gala. Now, is it really a Met Gala if Kim K doesn't stir up some controversy? No, I don't think so. And this year, she was clocked for two things. First was for unattainable beauty standards. Kim was wearing a silver John Galileo corset-style dress that cinched her waist to an impossible degree. Like, it was so tiny, I don't know how she was even able to breathe. Now, one photographer shouted, "Your waist is crazy" at her, and indeed it was. But throughout the night, she was looking distinctly uncomfortable. Now, the still shots from the evening may be glamorous, but the reality looks painful. Her waist had been pulled in so tight that her vital organs looked like they had been displaced. Like, it wasn't normal or natural. Now, she was actually having so much trouble moving that she needed assistance walking up the iconic Gala steps. In a video posted to Vogue's YouTube channel, Kim revealed that breathing while wearing the look is an art form. "But I got it," she said, as assistants tightened the corset behind her. I'll feel so snatched, I won't even be able to communicate to you how snatched I feel," she said breathlessly. Now, on social media, many fans were not impressed with Kim's trim waist. "This extreme look sends all kind of wrong messaging," wrote one person on Twitter. Now, the look itself actually could have been dangerous. Depending on how much the waist is restricted, corsets can lead to difficulty breathing and fainting. In addition, compressing the organs in the abdomen can harm digestion and lead to the muscles in the back to atrophy. Now, long-term corseting can deform the rib cage. Then there was the cardigan with her look. She noted that her controversial cardigan, meant to evoke the idea of running out the door and grabbing her boyfriend's sweater, was intentional. "It's like the real life me when I go to an event and I have to make it home by 6 AM to get carpool. Real life happens." But some fans suspect she wore it as a dig to Taylor Swift, as Taylor wrote a song blasting Kim on her most recent album. Not to mention the fact that Taylor sells cardigans as a piece of her merch, and fans were quick to point out the similarities and make jokes. Now, so much has happened with Kim the last couple weeks, and we're not even halfway done the year. I'm sure there will be many more scandals in store for us.
Kim Kardashian just got humiliated on live TV at Tom Brady's Netflix roast. As soon as she opened her mouth, the whole crowd was booing her so badly she couldn't even get a single word in. Even Tom Brady himself was not afraid to take some unbelievable jabs at Kim in her feud with Kanye. It was honestly so bad that Kim might have to hide her face in the public eye until some of this has blown over. Now obviously we know that every celebrity who agrees to take part in a roast is going to be ridiculed mercilessly. It doesn't matter if you aren't the star of the show, every roaster who appears on stage is going to have their whole life dissected in the worst ways imaginable. Now we should start off by saying that Kim was incredibly brave to agree to do this because, let's be honest, her whole life was provided a ton of ammunition for some very crude jokes. Obviously fellow roasters like Jeff Ross wasted no opportunities to tee off on the reality star, but the jokes she faced weren't even the worst part of the night for her. As soon as she arrived to the venue for the big night of laughter, you could see that Kim was already looking a little bit tense. She turned up with her friend and business partner Tracy Romulus, and people could already see that Kim was visibly nervous. There have been so many lowlights over the years for the roasters to use as cannon fodder, but it was actually the audience that really stunned the reality star. As soon as Kim walked up on stage to begin her own roast of Tom Brady, things took a pretty unexpected turn for her. Kim started getting into a joke about the host of the night, Kevin Hart, when she was interrupted by a chorus of boos from the audience. They were so heavy that Kim actually had to pause for a moment to take it all in. She managed to break out a little smirk and seemingly shrugged off the heckling, but you could tell it definitely affected her. Credit to where it's due though, Kim didn't falter and continued on with her whole set. She actually had some pretty funny jokes as well and sort of turned the crowd a little bit back in her favor. She addressed some of the old dating rumors surrounding herself and Tom Brady and gave a pretty funny explanation for why it would never happen now. Kim pointed out that Tom Brady is an ex-athlete with high cheekbones and silky hair who now reminds her of her own stepdad, Caitlyn Jenner. She also stated if they were ever dating, she wouldn't even need to tell anybody, she'd just release another tape. Kim also pointed out that it was hard to watch people roast Tom, but she stated that enough of her family members have already defended former football players. Of course, we all know who her late father Rob Kardashian was defending back in the 1990s. So Kim did manage to hold up well while she was on stage herself, but how did she fare while she was taking heat from her fellow roasters? Well, obviously she was a focal point for many jokes throughout the night. Nothing from her life was safe from being made fun of, and some of the jokes were just too brutal for us to even repeat on here. With people like Jeff Ross and Andrew Schultz up on stage, you just know that lines are going to be crossed and everyone has to be prepared for some of the nastiest jokes you are ever going to hear. Every time someone directed their attention towards Kim Kardashian, you could see that the reality star was visibly uncomfortable. Jokes are made about her past relationships and some of her family issues, and she would just have to nod and smile and pretend that it didn't bother her. But one of the jokes that really stood out to everyone was provided by none other than Tom Brady himself. As soon as Brady mentioned Kim's name and looked directly at her, you could already see that Kim was a little bit nervous about what he was going to say. Brady could have selected any embarrassing moment from Kim's life to put on blast, but he opted for a much more recent feud that really hit close to home. He did applaud Kim for showing up and admitted that it was brave of her to attend the roast, but not for the reasons you would probably expect. Tom stated that Kim was terrified to be at the roast, but it was because her little ones were at home with their dad. Well, you can see that one definitely ruffled some feathers on Kim. Of course, she kept up appearances on camera and just shrugged it off, but everyone was pointing out how uncomfortable she looked and probably felt. The long documented breakup and ensuing feud between Kim and Kanye has been very well documented. We all know that Kanye took a very strange turn in life after that breakup, and his character and mental state have been brought into question ever since. So when that sort of a feud is made fun of, you can tell that Kim really wasn't enjoying it, especially since her little youngsters were also mentioned. The fact that the joke got a massive round of applause and a standing ovation from some also reminded Kim that the audience really didn't like her. Of course, it was also a massive dig at Kanye, who still manages to be the center of attention at an event he's not even attending. The whole thing was just a really bad night for Kim. It was probably a very rude awakening for her that she might not have as many fans as she thinks. Now, once again, these roasts are pretty much open season for everyone who attends, and the roasters need to be prepared to face some of the nastiest jokes they will ever hear in their life. People are not afraid to go well over the line, and it wasn't even Kim who was uncomfortable with some of the jokes. Even Tom Brady himself had to stand up at one point and give Jeff Ross a stern warning about one of his jokes. Ross was taking plenty of shots at the New England Patriots, but the one that sent Brady over the edge was a remark he made about Robert Kraft's special massages. Maybe some of the roasters were told ahead of time that Robert Kraft was off limits, but if you watched any of these roasts in the past, you'll know that Jeff Ross just doesn't care. You could cut the tension with a knife after that one, so perhaps Kim was at least able to see that she wasn't the only uncomfortable person in the room. After the roast had concluded and everyone made their way towards the exits, viewers once again noticed that Kim seemed extremely uncomfortable. She managed to shrug off the jokes during the night, but it was so obvious that some of them really struck a chord with her. Whether it was anything to do with her past relationships, family drama, or her ongoing feud with Kanye, you could tell that she was very upset. But the one thing that undoubtedly affected her the most was the booing. She might have been able to prepare herself for some of the nasty jokes she was going to hear, but having an entire room full of important people tell you how much they dislike you is pretty tough for anybody. There have been some pretty controversial people who have attended these roasts over the years, including far-right commentator Ann Coulter, and even she wasn't booed as badly as Kim. It's really anyone's guess if Kim will ever agree to be a part of another roast again, but we wouldn't be surprised if this was her last. Another appearance will only be another bad wake-up call that's filled with a ton of nasty jokes and a chorus of boos from a very loud audience. But maybe she'll actually surprise us and make another roast appearance in the future. We'll just have to wait and see what happens next for Kim after this rather embarrassing night.
Kim K's infamous ugly crying face has become an iconic meme on the internet. This memorable facial expression made its debut in the early 2010s on her reality TV show, Keeping Up with the Kardashians. One of the most notable instances was during season 2 of Kim and Kourtney Take New York in 2012, when she was in tears over her marriage to Kris Humphries, which lasted 72 days. This particular moment quickly became a widely circulated GIF and reaction image due to its hilarity, but the face made a reappearance during season 4 of Keeping Up with the Kardashians when Kim emotionally discussed her late father. Despite the heartfelt nature of her crying, the face had the unintended effect of adding humor to the moment. It resurfaced again when she famously lost her earring in a Bora Bora pool, a story we'll explore further down the list. These instances serve as reminders that Kim's emotions, whether sincere or dramatic, often become secondary to her very important public image. The release of Kim's intimate tape is a humongous part of her public narrative. While it undoubtedly catapulted her to fame, it remains a source of mixed emotions for her. She's expressed regret about it multiple times over the years. But the tape's exposure was a pivotal moment in Kim's life, one that garnered significant attention on the internet, but not necessarily for the right reasons. Even if you haven't seen the tape, you've likely heard about it, as it became a pop culture sensation, not just back then, but to this day. It serves as a strong reminder that not all paths to stardom are filled with pride and satisfaction. Instead, this moment in Kim's life highlights the dichotomy of fame, where a single incident can lead you to both fame and regret. Kim Kardashian's attempt to wear Marilyn Monroe's legendary dress to the Met Gala sparked global outrage. The dress was originally tailored to Monroe's unique body shape and was quite literally a garment of historical significance. Kim's decision to wear it to a modern event was seen by many as an act of disrespect towards an icon of beauty and fashion, and a slap in the face to Monroe's legacy. That's not to mention the subsequent damage to the dress, which includes lost gems, pearls, a split zipper, and broken stitches, which only added to the embarrassment for not only her, but those who had to tailor the dress for her. This situation underscores the importance of acknowledging the cultural and historical context of certain artifacts and fashion pieces. It's a stark example of what can happen when the pursuit of attention and shock value overshadows your respect for the past. Kim Kardashian's encounters with Anna Wintour, the highly influential editor-in-chief of Vogue, have been far from smooth, revealing the nuanced dynamics within the realms of both fashion and celebrity culture. One of the most notable interactions between the two was the controversial decision to feature Kim and Kanye on the cover of Vogue, which sparked considerable public backlash. In response to the criticism, Wintour utilized her trademark wit to address the situation. She suggested that continuously featuring tasteful celebrities on magazine covers could lead to monotony. This instance shows the deliberate provocations that often accompany decisions within the fashion and celebrity world, where calculated choices can stir both admiration and outrage. But that's not it. Another chapter in the Kim Wintour saga unfolded during Paris Fashion Week when Kim arrived at an event 50 minutes late and engaged in disruptive behavior. This occasion marked a display of indifference from Winter, who appeared in photographs with her arms crossed and facing away from Kim. This shows a huge sense of disapproval and hinted at a lack of tolerance for Kim's interesting behavior. I mean, this is a celebrity of Kim's stature. This shows that it's a powerful reminder that not everyone within the fashion world is bedazzled by the cult of celebrity. Not even amidst the glitz and glamour of high-profile events, punctuality and decorum are expected, regardless of how famous you are. I mean, it shows that in the eyes of certain figures, like Anna Wintour, respect and admiration must be earned through actions and not merely granted based on celebrity status. I mean, it adds a level of authenticity to a world often associated with being superficial. The televised proposal of Kim K and Kris Humphries shows that it's a compelling case study that shows the intricate ways in which reality television can influence and script even the most intimate and personal moments in a person's life. I mean, this proposal was broadcast to millions of viewers as part of Kim's reality show, but it shows the extent of what these shows can orchestrate and manipulate into what would have been a deeply personal event. Humphries himself admitted that he initially envisioned a private and intimate setting for the proposal, one free from the intrusion of cameras and the pressures of a scripted narrative. However, the reality TV show machinery had different plans, pushing the couple to stage the proposal in a manner that would captivate and entertain the audience. This revelation came to light during their official divorce proceedings, where Kris divulged that certain scenes related to the proposal and wedding were not as spontaneous as they might have appeared. To Kim's dissatisfaction, her initial reaction was deemed less than ideal, necessitating the recreation of the proposal for a more dramatic effect. This shows what a fine line that reality TV treads between authenticity and scripted entertainment. It shows the pressure placed on individuals to conform to a narrative designed for ratings, often at the expense of their genuine emotions and desires. It underscores the challenges of maintaining a sense of reality in an industry where drama often takes precedence over genuine unscripted moments. Not even reality TV, but TV as a whole, the lines have been blurred between truth and entertainment. It's strategically rearranged to serve the demands of whoever's watching. The infamous flower bombing incident occurred during a red carpet event, which generated widespread headlines. However, it was later revealed that the whole incident was a completely organized publicity stunt. The Kardashians confirmed the planned nature of the event in their documentary, undermining the initial impression that Kim had been caught off guard. Her claim of ignorance and shock at the time, which she expressed as the craziest and most unexpected thing to happen to her, raised questions about the authenticity of the incident. In reality, her media team had discussed the event beforehand, ensuring that she was well aware of what would occur. The incident allowed her to make headlines for both her new perfume line and the flower bombing itself, highlighting how celebrity events are carefully orchestrated just to garner media coverage. Kim's venture into the realm of promoting diet-reducing candies shed light on her profound disconnection from the everyday realities of her audience. Her endorsement of these candies, which claimed to induce a feeling of fullness and support extended periods of fasting, immediately ignited a firestorm of criticism and controversy. The episode which it was featured in became a poignant example of how a celebrity's actions can inadvertently perpetrate harmful societal norms and insensitivity to crucial health-related issues. Critics were quick to pounce on Kim's promotion of such products, arguing that her actions indirectly supported the toxic diet culture that has plagued modern society. By endorsing candies that promise to suppress hunger and enable prolonged fasting, she seemed to endorse behaviors that could potentially lead to eating disorders, which is a huge concern for public health. In an era where public figures are subject to heightened scrutiny, this instance underlines the glaring lack of sensitivity to the possible repercussions of one's endorsements. It is essential to acknowledge that Kim Kardashian's intentions might have been benign, but believing she was offering her audience a solution to their body issues and weight is a big problem. The episode as a whole underscores the importance of considering the broader implications of doing something that might be viewed as benign. Celebrities, knowingly or not, hold a position of influence that reaches millions of people. Therefore, their actions and endorsements can significantly impact societal perceptions, attitudes, and behaviors. This is a valuable lesson in understanding the evolving roles of celebrities in shaping societal perspectives. It highlights the immense responsibility that comes with fame and the need to exercise great care and consideration when using your platform to endorse products or promote practices that can profoundly affect the well-being and mental health of individuals. Kim Kardashian's dramatic reaction to losing her $75,000 earring during a vacation in Bora Bora became a memorable moment in her public narrative. The incident raised several questions, primarily concerning her choice to wear such valuable earrings during a tropical vacation. Wearing expensive jewelry in a pool, where the earring could easily be retrieved, appeared impractical to many. The incident's conclusion, with Kylie Jenner diving down 10 feet to recover the earring, adding a layer of potential fakeness to the entire episode. This instance showcases how Kim's lifestyle and actions often defy the expectations of ordinary individuals. It's a reminder of the lavishness of her life and the unconventional situations that result from it. It also shows the contrast between the experiences of the super wealthy and the everyday challenges faced by the majority. I mean, even small dilemmas can become larger than life spectacles with Kim Kardashian. In 2019, she found herself at the center of a firestorm of controversy when she attempted to brand her shapewear bodysuit as a kimono. This seemingly innocuous branding choice sent shockwaves through the public and was widely perceived as an act of cultural appropriation that demonstrated disrespect towards Japanese culture. Kim's decision to redefine a traditional Japanese garment, which holds deep cultural significance, struck a chord of discord and generated intense backlash. The backlash Kim faced was rooted in a widespread feeling of insensitivity and a disregard for cultural heritage. Accusations of cultural appropriation rang loud, and many felt that she was casually co-opting an integral part of Japanese culture for her personal gain. The global response to Kim's rebranding attempt was swift and vocal, with activists and the general public calling her out for her actions. This showed the potential consequences that celebrities may face for their cultural insensitivity. Ultimately, faced with mounting pressure and the undeniable public outcry, Kim Kardashian made the decision to rename her product line to Skims. This ended up being a positive for Kim Kardashian, as Skims recently partnered with the NBA, but it still demonstrated that individuals, even high-profile celebrities, can no longer act with impunity in a globalized world where actions and decisions have far-reaching implications. Kim Kardashian's controversial interview with Variety raised questions and anger about her remarks, which were perceived as hypocritical. She suggested that the best advice for women in business was to get up and work, seemingly disregarding the complex dynamics of the modern workplace. Her comments seemed out of touch with the realities faced by working women. She appeared to imply that women weren't already working hard. Her statement brought attention to the need for public figures to be mindful of their words, especially on topics as sensitive as gender and labor. Recognizing the value of empathy and understanding the challenges that women encounter in the workforce is essential in a time when issues of gender equality and diversity take center stage in public discourse. Her subsequent public apology on Good Morning America reflected an awareness of the potential consequences of her statements and serves as a reminder that even celebrities can learn from their mistakes and acknowledge the impact of their words.